Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of CL Live Masterclass. As you all know that CL is a recruiting and staffing company. We find the best talent for organizations across different sectors. And possibly in manufacturing and engineering sectors, we recruit about 15,000 people a year. So the position where we operate from, we get to see the behaviors of the candidate community who are looking for bettering their career, for their ambitions, to pursue their ambitions. And at the same time, we look at the behaviors and the trends in the talent market that's from the employer side. So our attempt through CL Masterclass has been to invite accomplished business leaders and HR leaders to come and share their perspective, and we combine some of our insights to it, and we present that to the employment market so that the business leaders, HR leaders can use some of these insights in decision making in the strategic aspects of HR. And at the same time, the candidates who are looking to better their career prospects and ambitions, they can see some of these trends and think about it, reflect upon it, and make their decisions about careers. So that's broadly why CL Masterclass, CL Live Masterclass happens. We invite from time to time people, accomplished leaders from the industry to share their perspective. Today, I have Chiragi Pathak Thakor, who's Director HR of IDEX Corporation. She is in charge of Asia business of IDEX Corporation. IDEX Corporation, many of you would know that it's a very large global company, a leader in fluidic systems. They operate from 20 different countries in the world, a $2 billion company with a heritage of 100 plus years. As IDEX Corporation, maybe the organization is about 35 plus years, and they're a very interesting organization. Over the last few years of my working with IDEX Corporation, we have understood that it's a very unique organization. And Chiragi, as an accomplished HR leader, brings more than 15 years of experience of having worked in different aspects of HR, carries very rich experience which we are going to benefit from. For the last 6 years, he has been with IDEX Corporation. Before that, in organizations like Lucy Electric, which is a UK-based organization into medium voltage and low voltage switchgear power distribution systems, and then has worked in manufacturing organization like an Israeli-based organization called Netafim, which is a leader again, which manufactures various equipment for the agriculture sector, and various other organizations, talent acquisition to management to the entire gamut of HR that she has handled. So we are fortunate to have someone like Chiragi amongst us. And IDEX Corporation, as I just said, that the entrepreneurial spirit that drives that organization possibly builds a lot of innovativeness and inquisitiveness in that organization. That's how the organization has been ahead of many of its peers in the space of fluidic systems. Of course, during the conversation, we will get to know more about it and the perspectives that Chiragi brings to the table. So she has worked with several global organizations, UK based, US based, Israeli, and a whole lot of things. So we will hear about it. Now, introducing the topic about today, we have picked IoT and digitalization. I don't have to talk more about it. All of us know that it's an area which is growing for manufacturing and engineering, construction infrastructure segment. There are today 12 billion connected devices in the world, is one report that I read, and it is projected that by 2025 there will be 27 billion devices which are connected. So if so many connected devices are there in this world, huge amount of data is being collected, and that data is being analyzed, based on which organizations are able to take intelligent decisions, which is improving their efficiency, reducing the wastages, and so on. So this is a trend which is there at this point of time. Technology has not only touched sectors like banking or financial services or telecom or retail or hospitality, it has touched manufacturing and engineering in a big way. So it's a kind of a disruption which many manufacturing companies are seeing at this point of time. We conducted a research. We asked people that, does your company have or is considering any investments in IoT and digitalization? We asked this question to leaders from the manufacturing industry, and 59% of them said either they have or they are considering it. So you can see this is the trend even now in India. So it's growing all over the world. It is a global phenomenon. So we will hear from Chiragi. Let me start the conversation. Maybe Chiragi, you could say to our viewers that why is IoT and digitalization such an important thing for the manufacturing industry? People talked about application of technology in various other sectors, but not possibly so much about manufacturing. However, in the last 6 years, we are seeing there's such a major trend. So what benefits do manufacturing and engineering companies see that they are digitalizing their environment?
Thank you, Aditya, and first of all, Team CIL for inviting me for this very high demand topic, which is like currently, as you just rightly mentioned about the digitalization is coming in a way, and it is going to be an era, not just the one or two initiatives, but it's going to be an era, and how it is beneficial to manufacturing organizations. So first of all, this is like Aditya, if I share our own experiences, this is like is more creating a new revenue stream itself. It is a new revenue stream for us. It's not only the revenue stream, but also in the long term, if we see that the ROI in terms of it is really high. So it is like currently the cost adoption cost is very high, but at the same time, the cost reduction in the long term will be very much efficient, and that is how it is very much beneficial. At the same time, when we talk about the productivity, efficiency, mobility, and agility, everything this digitization is bringing to not only to other sectors of IT, but it is also bringing to the manufacturing organization. And hence, to stay ahead of the curve, manufacturing cannot set the sides, and they have to go ahead with this. So these are the benefits, Aditya.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading that in the enterprises which are in manufacturing and engineering sector, their investments are growing at 12 to 15% per annum in IoT and digitalization. So organizations, as you rightly said, are investing this money to be able to grow the efficiency of the company and possibly predict some of the wastages, and hence trying to optimize their efforts. So that's a good start. We understand why IoT and digitalization is coming and is happening. So now let's talk about that, since this is a disruption which is happening. So what challenges do you see, Chiragi, and that companies are facing in adapting to this new thing which has come?
Sure. So first is like Aditya, as we all know, and when we go to research or we also talk with our business leaders or colleagues in HR, first major most thing challenge is coming in the required skills in this going ahead with the digitization, and then available it to the market. So that is one. Second is you can say the high adoption cost. So when we talk about this is altogether transformation or change management, and it involves a lot of adoption cost. So that is also the challenge which we are seeing. And third is also most important is the security. So when we talk about the digitization, it is along linked with data, and hence the security matters a lot. So this three things looks like a vital challenges during this adoption.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so you talked about the skill part of it, that we don't, you talked about security, you talked about availability of the skill. So, how do you think that this is reflecting in the area of, let's start with talent acquisition in the talent management spectrum? Let's start with talent acquisition. That what kind of challenges that you are seeing and how you are dealing with it, or not only you, how the industry is dealing with it.
Sure, sure. So as we all know that, we are now into the VUCA world, right? So we are not in the stable world, but we are into the VUCA world, where I think the every aspects of the human resources, whether you say about the talent acquisition, whether you say about onboarding, whether you say about engagement perspective or so on, every aspects of the HRM needs to be, refreshed around it, because this is the VUCA world and we have to adapt likewise. So standard talent acquisition process, or you can say the normal talent acquisition process, will not help us. Where business is going in omni channels, like multiple channels business are going through, then we cannot, as a the HR or TA, we cannot go with one channel or recruiting on only searching from the browsers. So that those are not the right things currently, and hence the changes are coming up. At the same time, we should also adopt the TA, we can say the cloud systems, which is very much available now, and which is the new things, or digitalization, you can say, in the talent acquisition itself, which is also offering a lot of the solutions around it. So that is also, and social engine searches are also available. When I talk about the TA cloud, which is like which is also now screening, it is going beyond our imagination. They are screening with some of the devices given to the candidates. They can screen their behavioral aspects remotely. So these are some things like which is going to come up, which is also started adapting by some of the organization, and which will go beyond that. So that as we all know that now employee experience is not so much, but now the candidate experience is also the part of the story. And when we talk about the candidate experience, not only we are interviewing them, it is actually that they are also interviewing to us as an employer. So giving them the experience, which is a world class and which needs a lot of personalization, touch and touch points, which is required. So these are the some of the changes is coming up in talent acquisition when we talk about this era.
Right. So these are some of the changes in the process part of it. What I understand we are talking about is how technology and digitalization, some of the new things like a candidate is able to take an interview at his or her convenience from a remote location, and the artificial intelligence doing some kind of a screening by itself and all of that. So those are the technology pieces and digitalization which is happening. Maybe the system is able to automatically rank candidates, so that the time that is required for the interviewers to spend on each candidate possibly is very different. So all of that is very interesting and new trends which people are possibly using significantly in the last 12 months. So thanks for bringing that out. So if we talk about just the skill part of it, the skill shortage, because these are new skills which are coming up. So how are we dealing with it? That are we able to upskill our existing workforce, or we are looking for new workforce? So what are your thoughts? Are there enough skilled resources available? What challenges do you face there?
So Aditya, rightly you asked the question, which is like a need of the time. This requires two aspects. Now, one is that, of course, the hiring. second is the internal upskilling or reskilling to talents. So these two aspects we always have to, always internalize when we are having the opportunity for the talent acquisition positions. And this is how we proceed to approach around it. And now when we talk about upskilling or reskilling, so it needed a lot of patience at the same time, and also the communication part of it. So what's in it there for the candidates or currently available and internal employees? Of course, we as organization is going in the digital way, but what it will bring to employees that they would like to also go on board to the skills. So this is very much important, and hence, that purpose of this has to be communicated really well. And when we talk about the hiring aspects, so we have to be really out of the box creative, as this is the world of gigs workers, right? So also the freelancer. So some of the roles, when we talk about the challenges in the skills which is not available talents, we have to be open minded there. If some roles are has typically should be on role, or it can say should be on our the location, particular location, we have to be very much open, agile to it, and seeing that whether that can be done through the gigs workers, can be done to the freelancers, can be done to the physically disabled employees as well, because this is the world of artificial intelligence, which is not, doesn't require any physical ability as such apart from the brain there. So these are some of the unique solutions around it, where we go ahead with internal or external one.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we are seeing that. I mean, you talked about expanding the talent pool by looking at pools which we possibly did not look at in the past, like somebody working remotely. There are people who are not able to work out of the location where you are present. However, the pandemic has showed us that for certain jobs you can do remotely. So, can we look at a different talent acquisition strategy to hire remote workers? Then you spoke about freelancers and gig workers. You also spoke about new talent pools like physically disabled people who possibly never considered this as a career option in an engineering or a manufacturing company. So they could possibly now for certain kind of roles they could easily do that job. So that's a very good point that you brought about widening the talent pool. If I may add, we are also seeing that organizations are looking for more and more flexibility in their workforce strategy. So it is not that only for the permanent employees on their own payroll. You spoke about freelancers and consultants or gig workers. Also, there are possibly temp workforce who could just come in for a fixed period of time, and they not that the industry is not using it, industry is using it. uh, Possibly there is an opportunity to increase the usage of the temp workforce for a specific project. Maybe some workforce comes in to work as a specific services that they deliver. So as a service levels, they agree and they work and deliver that. So great. I think we spoke about the talent acquisition part of it, that there are new processes, new technologies, new tools available. Organizations must take benefit of it. Then, secondly, you spoke about widening the talent pool, which organizations should look at it. And thirdly, we talked about blending the workforce strategy with new components such as freelancers, gig workers, service level work, and temp workforce. So I think we have talked about the talent acquisition part of it. If we move to the employee experience part of it, you briefly talked about it. So in the today's time, where the young workforce is a lot more young people, maybe the average workforce is a lot lesser today than what it was 10 years ago, and the technology which is available today is very different from what it was earlier. There are many digital natives who are in part of the workforce. So keeping this in mind, how do you look at the blue collar workforce as well as the white collar workforce? Uh, about delivering. You spoke about delivering a great experience. So, what are the new things new practices that you are doing or the industry is doing, Chiragi?
Sure, Aditya. So when we talk about this digitization or digitalization in the industry, it doesn't just limit to the engineering teams, or you can say IoT team members. It is it is altogether impacting to all the stakeholders, including the TAMs, which you are just shared about it. Also the staff members, not also the function of supply chains, also commercial functions, everywhere it has to be, also to HR as we are discussing today, and also to finance. So when we talk about the TAMs, when in this journey, there are a lot of tools and technologies are available, and they have to the one aspect which I shared with you is about the communication. So why we are going ahead with this, that has to be communicated to every level of the organization, whether it is a temp or blue collar, or why we are going ahead with it. So future vision should be communicated really well, so that we can get a lot of buying there. When we got the buying there, then we should step up with some of the interesting tools to train them on those, gamification is there. So when or very much practical tools are available there, so which can make them interested, and which can make them acquainted with this technology and think ahead around it. So when we talk about the uh, employee experience on the blue collars, they need lot of you can say the reasoning, the you can say the complexity of the reasoning required when we go ahead with the digitalization. So how we partner them, or how we handhold them in this journey with such of the small simplified tools or gamifications, which they can use hands on, which they can use for the testing of the products, and at the same time they are acquiring new skills. And when they should not have the threat that due to this AI they are going to lose their you can say the job roles, which is the we can share with them that this is the future of the organization, a future of yours, and hence once you will acquire this, you will be having the secure future there. So this kind of the experience at the blue collar or the temps level also we should encourage, and also link them with some of the you can say the perks or promotions or career advancement with it, so then they can see this as a positive change.
Great. I think you made some great points about leadership, the way the vision is communicated, how it is, how people need to understand that technology and human are going to collaboratively work together. And that's the future. There is no moving away from it, and there is a need to upskill for each individual. They need to learn and then take it further. So the final question, you spoke about the career path, and how people will advance. How do you see? Do you think like we were jokingly talking about? I started my career with L&T as an engineer, and from engineer to senior engineer, you typically took 3 years, and if you got it in 3 years promotion, we were happy, and possibly the salary hike was 60 rupees or 90 rupees per year, kind of a I mean, the monthly salary hike was just 60 or 90 rupees. Of course, I am talking about early 90s. But times have surely changed. We live in a different socio-economic, political situation. The environment has changed. The expectation of our people have changed. So how the career pathing now we are doing, and how we are managing the talent development?
Sure, Aditya. So I agree with you that earlier it was a scenario, and now the as you just mentioned about the titles, so this generation, as we are talking about the less generation, less age generation, or you can say millennials or Gen Zs. These are into the industry currently, and they are not having limited themselves as per our experiences to only to the titles. Also they are very much interested in the roles that they are going to play, also how it has been linked with the future trends. So just like, the digital roles which we are talking about, it is like, why talents are more interested around it, and when we are having the, the scarcity around it, because a lot of demand around it is because that is a future trend, and everyone would like to, adopt there and going ahead with that. So when we talk about the path, career path, it's like when we talk about digitization, there are the 3 4, you can say, the segments there. One is the security, which we talk about. Second is the database, big data analytics skills. That is one segment. Another segment, and one more segment is emerging technologies. So which is like this three aspects are there, and where talents are, would like to evolve them. This trend is, as per the, researchers saying, that this will remain at least for 15 to 20 years more, and talents would like to go ahead around it. So we just would like to handhold, give them the digital academy, all the skills are required for that. We can do the mapping around it, which is like current skills and future requirement skills, and we can, handhold them. We can give them the development strategies, that, this is how you can evolve as per the technology is evolving. Your career can evolve like this. So giving them the bundle solution and ask them to pick as per their aspiration can be the right solution to us. This is what working for us currently.
Very nice. Nice. So you spoke about how to sort of involve the employees in the process of crafting their careers and showing them various paths and telling them what it takes to go on path one, path two, path three, and so on. So great conversing with you, Chiragi, and tapping into your perspectives and insights that you have gathered over the last many years of working with iconic organizations and in senior roles. It's extremely useful for our viewers. And I think we spoke about various aspects of talent management, right from talent acquisition to employee engagement, development, and career paths. So thank you very much on behalf of CL and on behalf of users, viewers of this program. Thank you very much, Chiragi.
Thank you, Aditya and CL team again. And thank you, viewers, for joining us and listening to us. Thank you.
Thank you.